Hello there guys, it's me Unstable Voltage and welcome back to episode 51 of Europa Universalis for As the Ottomans. First of all, I'd like to give a big thank you to one of my Patreon supporters, William Luke, for sponsoring this video. Again, my top Patreon this month. I really do appreciate your continued support, and that doesn't only go for William, but it also goes for each and every single one of you. It's the support of you guys that allow me to continue running this channel. Another thing, since the last video, on the previous end of the previous video, I think we were in March or April of 1620, and you'll notice that this is the 1st of January. For some reason, the final save that I usually make when I finish recording, I do not have and cannot find. I'm not certain whether it was lost in the PC transfer, or whether I just didn't record when whether I didn't save when I finished recording, which would be rare, but it has happened before. Or whether something happened and it crashed and the save game got corrupt. Either way, what I've had to do is roll back to the latest autosave, which is the 1st of January. So we've only really missed a couple of months of gameplay. And to be honest, at the end of that video, I was just doing my sign-off, so nothing really happened, to be honest, in that sort of period. So we are in a period of peace. We are trying to build back up to our force limit. We are getting there. We are getting some manpower. I believe our mission is to actually get some manpower as well. Yeah, 90% of our manpower. So we need to get that sorted out. But at the same time, you know, we are building our armies up as well. So why am I building that one? Are we trying to get them all up to a 30 stack? That's fine. That makes sense. And we need to decide who is going to be our next target, really. It's most likely... I mean, we are thinking about going after Venice. The problem with Venice is we have France as the defender of the faith, who would quite happily come in to Venice's aid. Or anyone who is a Christian, for that matter. So I think what we might have to do is concentrate on expanding Fezzan a little bit. Do we have any CBs against Fungi down here? We don't have a CB. We can't actually fabricate on you because we're not adjacent to you. We can fabricate on Ethiopia if we don't already have a CB down there. We don't have a CB. So let's go ahead and start building a spy network. And try and feed... Again, I'd like to take some stuff on the coast. I know some of this belongs to Oman. So we need to fabricate on as well. So let's start building a spy network down there. Get some of these diplomats actually doing something. Because at the moment they're not really doing anything. So let's try and get back up to our force limit. And also let's try and get these up to the appropriate numbers. I think I'd told them all to build up. Good job as well, because the infantry and cavalry costs have just increased. So all of our armies are now up to 30 stacks. That puts us on 180 of 190. So we could get 10 more soldiers, but it isn't really worth it at this point. What about on naval force limit? We're slightly below, but that is fine. That's acceptable. Now then, do we have any loans? We're at full maintenance, which we don't really need to be. We're not at war. We do have one loan of 818 ducats, and we have some inflation. Let's make some of the inflation go away. Let's try and recuperate some of that money. We'll go up to speed 4. We have a new PC now. It can actually handle higher speeds without causing my recording software to lag. How are we doing on tech? Lose 200 piety or gain... lose 25 piety or gain 25 piety. Well, what would we sooner have? The morale of armies, the fort defense, and the missionary strength. We can't really do any conversions at the moment. I don't think a bit more missionary strength is really going to help. Yeah, all of these have got religious zeal, so the extra missionary strength wouldn't help any way at all. So let's lose the piety. Let's start heading back towards manpower and tax and tech. So really what you should be doing with piety as one of the Sunni nations is going towards non-piety if you're at peace, because it benefits you in gaining money and manpower, and going towards piety if you are at war, because it gives you better morale of armies, better fort strength, and things like that. We can invest in a new technology. That would put us 2 groups above military tech 16, which is fine. We won't get the corruption on that, I don't think. We need to go up one more to do that, so that'll be okay. But we really do need to get our military technology up next before we do anything else. So, Holland or the Netherlands want some maps from us. That is fine. We can manage that. Now, we do have, or at least we did have some potential rebellions. Most of the rebellions seem to be in either Fezzan or Crimea. So they're not really my own. There is one that is threatening to pop over there in Crimea. I wish you could turn the maintenance up for individual armies. That would be a nice thing to do. Some of these are starting to go away, but yeah, literally, well, one of them is in Fezzan and all of the others in Crimea. They really are having some massive, massive problems. There's only going to be 14k spawn on that one if and when it spawns. 2.1 years in where now? Tarki, Terek and Kunzina. Not one of the provinces I'm standing in, so I should be safe with that army standing there. What's autosave sort of breaking things a little bit there. So what do we need for 90% of our manpower? 156k. We'll probably actually manage to get there, to be honest. Diplomatic insult CB against the Commonwealth. See, again, they're quite scary. Are France still the defender of the faith? Yes, we don't even have our CB against Venice anymore. What I think we should be doing, though, is I think we should still be trying to keep those claims against Venice for as long as we can. We don't want to give military access to Persia. We're not too bothered either way. So we'd like to take some of Oman, because I'd like to take this province for my own. I'd like to take some of Ethiopia and feed that to Fezzan. And what I'd like to do, ideally, is take all of the Middle East. Gain a tiny bit of inflation for some Diplo power. I'm trying to get money, so I'm not going to bother with the inflation. And I don't need the extra Diplo power, because we don't have a Diplo Tech group. We're already ahead in Diplo Tech. We'll repay that loan. So we actually have a little bit of money in the bank now. Let's go ahead and get some buildings. So marketplaces are actually out of date now. So we could upgrade them to trade depots. Now where would we get something significant? Look at that, 13.6. 7.8. That's significant. Any more that would be really high? Probably... Yep, there's a 6.8 over there. How much does it cost us for one of these, by the way? 286 ducats. We definitely want to get one over here in Ragusa. That will help out. And what about down here in Alexandria? Well, 710. That's probably the next highest one. There's an 820 there, look. So let's get a few of these built. So there's our mission complete. Did somebody just rival us or no longer be our rival? Muscovy have rivaled me. That's fine. So rival of our rival is to get Spain's opinion to 100. Safeguard Eastern Anatolia. That'll give us a few claims. Or conquer Moldavia. Literally just a single province for some manpower recovery speed. Moldavia, you belong to the Commonwealth. Which even if I could take on the Commonwealth, they are allied with Spain, Riga, Bohemia. Actually, not as bad as I thought, to be honest. And apparently Spain wouldn't even come in... No, Spain would come in to help them, but France wouldn't. Why would France not come in? French opinion about the Commonwealth and rivalry attitude towards the Commonwealth. Interesting. Okay. Game 5 prestige. Well, we don't really need a new consort. So, yeah, not necessarily the mission I want to take. Let's go for this one, then. And what have we got going on here? We want to lose the piety. I'll take the little bit of prestige there. We can invest in a new idea. Now, that would reduce the land attrition, and it would increase our land force limit modifier, but we are getting behind on military tech, so I'm going to wait on that one. We really should be saving up money in order to buy our next institute, but I think what I want to do is get as many of these things built as possible in the high trade provinces. So we've got a 710, because there's a lot down here, look, we've got a 710, there's a 630, a 620, what was Ragusa? Ragusa's a 680. So that's the next highest. So we get a lot of extra trade power in here. We can intervene in wars between other great powers. Now, here's something that could be interesting. If we were... What have we got here? We've got Muscovy, Austria, Portugal. Yeah, Muscovy, Austria, and Portugal. If we intervened, we would join on the side of Spain and the Commonwealth. I don't really want to do that, if I'm honest. Is there still any possibility of attacking? Yeah, you see, France would still come in and help you. Sweden and the Knights I could deal with. France I don't want to fight. Let's make sure we keep sucking up to France. Looks like one of our spies was caught somewhere as well. And keep boosting relations here as much as possible. Gain 50 admin power, all good. Extra artillery cost is not good. So who are we still spying on? We have Venice and we have... who is this one here? Ethiopia. We'll just get the prestige here. So let's go and fabricate some claims. Well, I say fabricate some claims. There's only really one claim we can fabricate on Ethiopia. Oh no, there's two. A Saab, because we share a sea zone. Yeah, okay, fair enough. But let's go for this one first, because it is the closer one. And we can fabricate on the other one as well. We'll keep building the spy network, of course, because it'll help with siege progress. Now then, who do you actually have as allies? You have Fungi, who we don't really care about. We don't have a CB yet, because I haven't unpaused the game. So, really, I only need one army down there. We can deal with all of you. And we need to go and send our spy back to Oman. We can fabricate some claims down here on a lot of stuff as well. Well, we want coastal stuff. We want Massawa, definitely. So let's go and work on that one. And that's the only claim we can get currently. So let's go ahead and unpause. We'll wait till the army gets down there. We will... They're taking a bit of attrition there. Let's go and give you a leader, actually. Have we got one with some decent maneuver? Well, you've got some, but you're not a really good general, to be honest. You have no fire at all. You're all shock, which is okay, I suppose. But you've got maneuver and you've got siege, so I'll put you in there. Let's go ahead and make sure we put up our army maintenance then. It's going to cost us a little bit of money, but we should be fine. So yeah, some fairly big stacks down here, which is slightly problematic. We have a revolt that's popped just over there, which to be honest is excellent timing because they're right next to where our army is. Lose 100 ducats or gain some local unrest. Don't want to lose the money. We will take a river crossing if we go... We got the maneuver. Why are we taking a river crossing? They should get the river crossing. Yeah, we didn't get the crossing penalty. They have no leader. We wiped them out. We took a little bit of damage there. The state's gaining some influence. So let's go and move over here. And we'll just get ready to dive in and start taking a load of stuff from Ethiopia. Shouldn't take too long to find their armies and go and wipe them out, really. We'll recall our diplomat from France. Okay. Treachery within the family. Word has reached us that the beloved and most favoured of sons, Kenny Wilson, is plotting against his father and aims to overthrow the state. Our trusted and closest consort, the Sultan, implores us to cut off this cancer from our body and have Kenny Wilson murdered. Is he even a decent heir? Let's find you. You have... monthly war exhaustion, which is which is nice. If the rumours are true, this will give him time to assemble a bigger army, or we could just go and kill him off. Let's just go and kill him off. Sorry, Kenny, but I'll be quite honest with you. Every single time I accept that event, I get a rebellion, and I don't want that to happen again. So let me just pause up for a second. I will go back down to speed 3 while I'm doing this war. So let's go ahead and declare our war on Ethiopia. Fungi will still come in. Fungi, who do you have as allies? You're allied with Ethiopia and Adal. So we could... Now, where's Adal? Adal is this, like, 2 province down here. So what we could potentially do is... And I think I will, actually, yeah. We're going to co-belligerent Fungi. And then hopefully we can... get them to Is that your only fort? That must be your capital. Hopefully what we can do then is get Fungi to cede all of its provinces to Fezzan. It should easily be enough there. We need to unpause, of course. Right, you do have a fort over here. So let's go ahead and move into that fort first. Now we could take a new technology. It's admin tech. We can take the admin tech. It'll give us another idea group. Maybe we want to take a Diplo idea, actually. So we've already got 2 military. We've got 1 admin and 1 Diplo. But we are sort of ahead on Diplo. So we could go for trade ideas. More global trade power, more merchants, more trade range, more trade efficiency. We could go for influence ideas. Income from vassals isn't great because we only really have marches. We're not really doing diplomatic annexation costs. Aggressive expansion impact reduction would be nice. Yeah, not too sure how useful any of those would be. Economic ideas would be nice as well. National tax modifier. Reduced construction costs, inflation reduction, interest per annum. There we go, administrative is quite good, although we're not really going for mercenaries much. Available mercenaries, possible advisors. I think I like the idea of going economic, to be honest. I mean, we are about to take some more land, but most of the land that I'm about to take, I'm about to feed to a vassal, so... Already on 7%, these forts must be out of date. So I should be able to take these forts quite quickly. I haven't seen their armies yet. Hopefully Fezzan should bring their armies down here to help. They're probably on the march, so that's fine. But Adele's army could come and attack us. They're not going to have much. I mean, they've only got 2 provinces. They're probably just going to have maybe 8, 9 troops, something like that. So there's 1 fort for them. We're already on 7%. So we'll go and siege out their capitals first. Or siege out their provinces. And we want to go and siege out all of Fezzan. Fungi. Ah, there's Ethiopia's army. Well, that's fine. You go and spread out up there. We'll go and take your capital. Let us tell Fezzan. Let me get this right. Let me just pause up. I want you to be aggressive. I'll tell you who to attack directly. Doesn't look like I can. Well, that's fine. We'll just take this out nice and quickly and then we'll march. Do you know what? We're not even going to bother doing that. We're just going to march straight up here and squish some armies. Because they're starting to carpet siege, which is not too terrible because most of these provinces aren't really worth any real war score. But the fact that they have a few armies wandering around up here, I don't really like that. So let's go and get a few quick and easy kills where we can. They are going to try and run away, of course. Oh no, you're actually taking the fight, are you? I'll take that fight. So there's 1 squish. You're moving into Fungi. We'd like to try and get Fungi stack wiped. It was fully sieged, so we can piece them out straight away. There we go. Let's go and split this army up. We'll siege out everything you've got. Send the siege leader over to the capital. So those 4 provinces won't take long at all. Let's get you... You might as well go and siege over there then. You can go and siege... Oh, what happened there? Black news indeed. Stability drop. Do we have a new ruler? What just happened? We do. I didn't even get to name him. This is the random one that we got after we had to kill off Kenny Wilson. Well, that's unfortunate. Oh, well. Well, we take this decision again. Gains us a bit of piety, but fine. Let's go and... Can't afford to buy up our stability. Lose some ducats or... Wow, that's a lot of ducats to lose. So we either lose the ducats or we lose discipline and manpower recovery speed. We'll just lose the ducats, I guess. Especially while we're in a war. We'll get the money back, it's fine. There's another province that is ours. We've taken out a loan, which is unfortunate because we were only just below what we needed for that. So as you can see, we're already sieging a few things out here quite happily. So let's get you guys all down here. This is already on 14%. We are getting a peace offer from Fungi already. That's strange. I wonder why that is. We don't care about that. What we want to do is turn all of these over to Fazan. And I bet you're unwilling to do a full seed anyway. Oh no, they actually are. And we'll take all of your money. So that all goes to Fazan. There we go. There's one problem solved. So let's get all of you guys over here. There probably isn't much point trying to go down to Adult, to be honest. It's not like we could core anything there anyway. So I think we got rid of Ethiopia's army completely. We'll just go ahead and send these units in. You can go down and siege the capital. And everybody else will just go and carpet siege whatever they've got left. All of this is going to be going to Fazan, at least as much of it as we can safely take. Not a sab. I'd like to take a sab for myself, because the idea is I want to try and sort of work down the coast. Can we go and fabricate any more claims down here? We would like Jazan. It's on the coast. So we'll go and fabricate on that. You're going to be next, Aman. So be prepared for it. Now, your capital is Muscat, is it not? Yes, it is. Reduced tech cost, reduced idea cost. Yeah, that's not a bad idea. So, with the reduced tech cost, we can get the next military tech. Gives us more supply limit and more cavalry shock. Start to catch up in military. Lose the stability, lose 700 ducats again, or lose 100 Diplo. We're ahead in Diplo, so we'll go ahead and do that. We don't have enough men down here to siege, so let's go and reinforce. Let's go and force your ships out. And let's just go and use these stacks to siege a few more places. More global trade power, always nice. So let's go ahead and group you back up. We do have enough to siege there now. You do have a siege leader there. We're doing an excellent job of getting everything sieged out. But yes, I'd like to try and take as much of the coast as I can realistically grab away from Oman. So there's some more occupations. There's your ships out. Let's move you down here. There's Ethiopia already willing to peace out. Well, we're not interested in peace. We're interested in taking all of your lands. But we will conclude this war in another video, because I've just seen the time. Just one more little thing there before I forget. I would like to once again thank William Luke for sponsoring this video with his generous patron donation. And thank each and every one of you who do support me for allowing me to continue to make these videos. I'll see you guys next time. Until then, goodbye for now.